sort of juts out after you see that little batter's eye shaded fence straight away in center. Wesley Alleg, the second baseman for the Red Sox, gets plunked on the back of his arm. If you're going to get hit by a pitch, I think you'll take a 75-mile-an-hour curveball in the tricep. So he pauses, looks into his dugout. Again, a scrimmage game today, so everyone's trying to get as many at-bats as they possibly can. It looks like Alleg is going to step back into the box and continue this at-bat. You don't want to end at-bat in the scrimmage game.
Never.
It's like spring training. You get hit by a pitch, you get a little annoyed. You're
It's
I want to get my reps in there.
Wiffle ball with your buddies when you're growing up. You get hit by a pitch, it's like everyone's like, take the base because our team wants to win. But it's like, no, I want to hit the home run.
Exactly. Alleg spent last season at Kennesaw State at 269. He swings and chops one over to shortstop. Julio Solier of Boston College whips it across the diamond in time, and that'll do it in the top of the second. Nice defense on display for the Mariners in that inning, and we'll head to the home half. M's coming to bat once again here at White House Field. You're listening to Mariners Baseball on Cape League TV. Back here at White House Field, we go to the bottom of the second. Still no score between the Y-D Red Sox and the Harwich Mariners. Alongside Luke Brenneman, I'm Milo Hoffman. We just saw a nice defensive inning for the Mariners in the top half of the second. Micah Kirikoff, the center fielder, made a couple putouts manning center field. And then Julio Solier over at shortstop, played at Boston College this past year, made a nice throw across the diamond. So good to see the M's bringing that defense just in the scrimmage game.
Especially on these a new playing surface. Yeah. The grass here, I mean, the pristine condition that the Mariners and their staff on the grounds crew are able to have this place in just right from the get-go every year. You got to give them credit, but it's new. You don't really know where the walls are. You don't know how much room you have to the gaps. And also, a lot of these collegiate players are coming from turf infields where the ball scorches, it bounces, it jumps, it's hot. And Solier handled that inning-ending play on a backhand and threw it all the way from the hole, no bounce needed.
Kirikoff, a little blooper over to third, and Brody Johnston makes the leaping grab. Kirikoff, of course, made those two outs in the top half of the inning. He was hitting .311 with 6 homers and 40 RBIs at Kent State this past season. So he not only can do it on the defensive side of things, but he can get it done at the plate as well. That'll bring up Sean O'Leary, the third baseman for Harwich. O'Leary played at UMass Lowell this past season, hit .308, another guy with a high batting average for the Mariners. That's a theme when you look through this Mariners lineup. He looks at a strike on the outside corner, and the count's 0-1. That a 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
We were comparing this year's roster to last season's, and last year there was more, let's say, hyped-up names, especially when it came to top 10, first-round, major league draft picks, because a lot of these guys aren't draft eligible until next season.
Yep.
So it's kind of a summer where they can showcase the scouts, go back to school, and then maybe take a couple months off before the MLB draft in July. And the numbers are going to be good when you come to the Cape, but this season it's not an egregious amount of power forward guys. I mean, you look at this. a local kid in O'Leary, UMass Lowell, so has probably known about the Cape his entire time growing up. He's from Foxborough, Mass., and maybe made his way to some games. These are the storylines we'll be checking in with the entire summer. So Mariner fans, stay tuned with that. But it's cool that they can come out here and live out, a dream of theirs, because this is a part of the journey.
2-1 is a swing and a miss from O'Leary.
But back to the roster last year. I mean, you had Eric Becker, who's projected to be inside the top 20 in a Major League Draft pick coming up this season. Aiden Robbins came here similar to Bussey, I would say. Hit .440 at Seton Hall. So Division I, but the Big East is definitely not the most notable baseball conference.
Hey, shout out St. John's this past year making a run in the tournament.
Right, just knocked out of the Super Regional by Alabama. They hung in there, but Robbins, I mean, he was here on the first week, stayed until the end, broke a finger in between, and kept playing after already transferring to Texas. So now he's an SEC guy. Didn't take that as an ego. He just took it as a confidence-boosting thing. What can I do for Longhorn Nation?
2-2 is a chopper down the first base line.
And then he's now a Golden Spikes Award finalist.
Projected first-round pick.
Top 15 pick. D. Kennedy was here, played third base for the entirety of the summer. Before the final 2 weeks, he got out of town and then went back to Kansas State, Golden Spikes Award finalist. So many of these former Mariners, whether it's the development here, breaking out, obviously the hard work, but these guys have a good trajectory ahead of them when you get here early and you kind of lock into the entirety of a Cape League summer.
O'Leary putting together a battle here at the Dish, and that's not a surprise for anyone that's been following O'Leary. He had 29 walks this past season, just 21 strikeouts. When you walk more than you strike out, that says something. You go
in this day and age, too.
Exactly. Everyone's going up there trying to hit 500-foot home runs. O'Leary is someone that looks like he may choke up on the bat with 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch is fouled right back.
I mean, it only would have made sense if he struck out right there.
Right, exactly. We like to say the announcers jinx. That'll get you. How many announcers jinx do you think we're going to have this summer? It's going to be
hopefully not many. Yeah. I remember Gino Antamarino and I had a pretty bad one last summer. Our first game in Chatham was 2 weeks in, and you go up by 4 in the top of the 9th inning. You think you got it on lock, and I think both of us were guilty of that Mariner loss.
O'Leary bloops one into center field. Beverly comes in, and he makes the grab. So good at bat, though, for O'Leary. Worked about 7 pitches in that at bat. And now there's 2 gone in the bottom of the second for the Mariners. And that'll bring up Quentin Coates, the first baseman who we already highlighted a whole bunch in the broadcast. Just finished his sophomore season at Cincinnati. Hit 28 home runs, 79 RBIs, an OPS of 1.167. I mean, he was putting up numbers. A big first baseman, stands at 6'3", 225 pounds. And he's someone that's looking to do damage. Breaking ball spins just inside. And the count's 1-0 on Coates.
Coates also just announced earlier last week that he will be returning to the University of Cincinnati. And that's a big deal because these guys are like free agents now, where you have one good year. It's like, where can I go and go to maybe a bigger school, a better school, obviously chasing some of those NIL sponsorships and whatnot. But Coates has found a home in Clifton. That's where the campus is for the University of Cincinnati. And I would go back to the place where I hit 28 home runs too.
Why not? It's so funny, though, that you're right. Everyone's saying, like, Quentin Coates is returning. 10 years ago, you wouldn't have to say that. It's, of course, he's going to stay for 4 years or whatever sport you're playing. It could be football or basketball unless you're a one and done. There was no transfer. It was more rare, at least back then, and now Quentin Coates, one of their best players, has to announce to all of the Cincinnati faithful, I'll be back, and I'll be repping the Bearcats for at least one more season. Here's the 1-2. That's a strike 3 called on the outside corner, so Coates goes down looking to end the frame. Little offense so far today here at White House Field, but a bunch of good defense from the Sox and the Mariners. We'll be right back for the third. You're watching Mariners Baseball on Cape League TV.
Welcome back to Cape League TV. We're through 2 in Harwich of a preseason scrimmage with the Mariners hosting the Y-D Red Sox. I'm Luke Brenneman alongside Milo Hoffman, thrilled to bring Mariner baseball back in the summer of 2026. Just about a pitching change every inning, so bear with us because there's no numbers, there's not even true uniform tops today, but it's the right-hander Ryan Taffy who comes in for the Mariners, and he'll be dealing with 8, 1, and 2. Yes, that's correct. There's no 9-hole hitter today for the Red Sox. So it's Luke Billings, the left fielder, hitting from the right side, and Taffy comes out for his first inning of action. We haven't seen a hit so far today through 2 innings. Now top of the third, no score. And Taffy takes a breath, kicks, and deals. Fastball right on the outside corner, called strike 1. A gorgeous day for baseball, flirting in the mid-70s. It got up to 80 at first pitch, but this is what a Cape League summer is all about right here. You can see a little bit of breeze in each guy's uniform. The 0-1 fought off foul by Billings, 0-2. But Milo, you got here, I'm not going to say late, but I had a couple days to settle in, and then I was able to introduce myself to you, and we've been hanging out, working at the ballpark. What have you noticed about the Cape kind of coming into it early on in these opening stages?
Yeah, I think that, the Cape League TV, even though I wasn't here last season, I've known about this, or Cape League TV, shout out the TV network, but the league as a whole, you've known about it forever. If you're in the baseball world, you know about this league, and there's so much prestige that comes with it. And so, I'm excited to be a part of it, just, a small part of this league and a small part of these players' journeys going through, in big-time moments of their collegiate careers. And so I think it's, it's a league where you want to get as many reps in as possible, but you almost got to treat it how you want it. What do I want to get out of this league? And I really picked up that sense just in the few days that I've been here. And obviously just Cape Cod itself is a gorgeous place to play some baseball over the summer.
0-1 to the leadoff man, Beverly, and I think that goes for everybody here. The players, the interns, and all of these teams are non-profit based. The 0-1, chopped towards the left side, charging in from third base. O'Leary can't get there, and the throw all the way across from the shortstop Solier, not in time. So no official scorer here, Milo, so we can play Guess the Ruling. O'Leary looked to be cutting off a ball that was going to be in the hole. It would have been a tough play at short whatsoever. I would say hit.
Yeah, I think that's a hit.
And the league, trust me, they're going to be a little bit timid to give out E5s throughout the summer. So we'll give Beverly the first hit of the contest. And with 1 out, you got a runner on first base for the shortstop, Manafleet.
Yeah, that was a nice play, but obviously these players are going to have to communicate with each other.
Runner goes from first pitch, skips away from Capisi in the dirt, and it looks like Beverly was flirting with third base, but put on the brakes, and he'll go into scoring position with 1 out.
What I was saying that on the left side of the infield there, these players don't play with each other, obviously, throughout the league. And so you have a third baseman who plays at one school, a shortstop who plays at the other. A play like that, a little skipper in the hole, you got to have chemistry to know who's going to maybe get that, who has a better arm than someone. And so just building that up, and a scrimmage is a perfect place to do that. And now they know more about each other heading into the regular season.
Manafleet swings, fouls one off his shin. The count goes to 1-1 on the shortstop out of Boston College. The Mariners, as of right now, on a rough draft roster. There will be an official opening day roster released tomorrow afternoon before first pitch of the summer on Saturday at Y-D. But a couple Boston College guys already on the Harwich lineup. Remember, there was Kyle Wolf on the team last year, so starting to see a little bit of a local pipeline out of a dominant ACC program this year. But it's Manafleet playing for Y-D coming out of the Golden Eagles program and fouls that one off. So now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right on left matchup here.
And Boston College is a program that's, like you said, just trying to improve on the baseball side of things, finishing a really impressive season for the Eagles. And, of course, when you get more impressive seasons under your belt, you're bound to have more Cape players that are going to come and impress here over the summer. So it's good to see an ACC school pick it up on the baseball side of things.
The 1-2 swung on and missed. That was a wicked slider out of the righty Soski. So both outs so far, and the first frame comes in 3 innings of Soski pitching. Coming the punch out. 2 down, runner at second is Beverly, and now it's Jake Sauter's turn.
I'm excited to see one thing, when the regular season gets going, how packed this field gets. Do you remember any, times last season when you just, you looked to your right and left, maybe down the outfield on those grass, areas just filled up with fans?
Well, the best part about it is it's a free-for-all because
Right.
you don't have to buy a ticket. So a lot of people will get Heat House Field and lay down some chairs, lay down a blanket, and say, this spot's mine for the ball game tonight. Right fielder Jake Souders spits on ball one away. Yeah, the crowd, it's marvelous. It's such a cool culture here. And it's not like they're just showing up for a baseball game. It's just the culmination of the weather, the talent, the charm of a place like this. That's a high school field, but it is such a nice spot. The 1-0 chopper towards short. Soler waits on it, and a rocket across the diamond beats the speed of Souders for the final out of the frame. So the first hit of the scrimmage comes from Beverly. In an infield hit fashion, he's stranded in scoring position for the second time today. We're scoreless through 2.5 time for the Mariners when we come back on Cape League TV. We're cruising in the early stages of a preseason scrimmage between Y-D and Harwich. Just one hit, no score, and the Mariners are due up in the home half of the third inning. Alongside Milo Hoffman, I'm Luke Brenneman. We'll be much better at our jobs as this summer progresses, as we develop as interns, but also today. Y-D has numbers, but we don't have a Y-D roster. We have a Y-D lineup, so we can get you that, but these pitching changes, guys aren't really wearing what they're supposed to. It's just a scrimmage at the end of the day, and we understand it's not serious. So bear with us if all the names aren't necessarily said or accurate from time to time. We're going to do our best to not call anyone by the wrong name. Smolinski switched with Solier for the Mariners defensively in the previous half inning, so Smolinski made back-to-back plays at shortstop, not Solier. But now the Mariners due up is the second time through the lineup. If somebody can get on, it'll be Connor Capisi, the catcher, to kick things off, then Julio Solier, and then Ty Smolinski. So 7, 8, and 9. Right on right matchup with the new Red Sox arm. Capisi waits the first pitch and gets plunked. Looks like he's okay just staying in the box. And he's got kind of I'm going to say a small elbow guard on.
Yeah.
Smaller than most.
It looks like it doesn't peer all the way down the arm to cover his actual elbow as well.
But it definitely got it because I saw it move on the ricochet.
That's when you're just happy that you're wearing it in that situation.
So the new first pitch is squibbed foul towards the Red Sox dugout. So call it 1-1, maybe 0-1. Heck, there's no rules here. Just here to
I'll
get
tell
better.
You one thing. The pitchers would like to carry over the hit-by-pitch, keep pitching to the hitter rule into the regular season.
You just plunk everyone until they can't even swing anymore and then go after them. Here's the 1-1. Capisi takes a strike with the fastball. That came in at 97, right on the outside corner.
Capisi played at Creighton this past season, 3.04 average. Just 3 home runs for someone that stands in the box at 6 foot 200 pounds, but native of Omaha, Nebraska, obviously a place that's going to be popping in the next couple days.
1 and 2's in the dirt. The count goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. You talked about his Creighton year. He played with Y-D last summer on the Cape League, so a little bit of a reunion, and then especially come opening day at Red Wilson Field. Hit sub 200 for average, had 3 doubles, 5 runs batted in, and walked 4 times. So looking to improve on another summer out here on the East Coast. He, you mentioned, is from, the heartland of America, the Midwest, Omaha, Nebraska. And he grew up as an Omaha kid too. Gross Catholic High School. And right now he's in the 2-2 count to kick off the bottom of the third. The 2-strike pitch, ground ball towards short. Manifly comes in, takes his time, throws on the run, on target, on time, 1 down.
Yeah, Manifly looked nice and poised on that one chance. It was a nice room service hop there on this dirt. You could already see how that's going to impact players throughout the season. You never know how the dirt's going to treat you. You want to become familiar with each position. Obviously, Y-D, this is not their home park, but every field has the different dimensions and the different surfaces that you want to play to. And so Y-D trying to get used to this dirt over here at White House Field for the first time as well.
And they'll play here a lot this summer,
Yeah.
a member of the East Division. Remember, 10 teams on the Cape, 5 from each respective division. And here's Julio Solier. This is a guy that a lot of people are excited about. The Puerto Rican infielder went to high school at Springfield Central. That's in Massachusetts, about 2.5 hours from the Cape. And he has really increased his level coming off a fantastic 2026 season. Hit .354, 34 runs batted in. His OPS over 900. But that was after a freshman year of just 27 at-bats, 4 hits, a slugging percentage under 150. 2-0 ripped out to right center field, a base hit for Solier, and it gets past Souders. Solier puts on the brakes, and there's the Mariners' first knock of the scrimmage. Julio Solier swinging a hot bat this entire 2026.
Yeah, give me the exit velo on that one right there. Just a rocket to right field. Solier was the National Player of the Week once this past season. First team All-Northeast region. He was the first Boston College player to do that since 2021. So half a decade since the last Eagle to be first team All-Northeast region. Unbelievable season for Solier over at BC. Program record 37 wins for the Eagles this past year as well.
Smolinski, first pitch swinging a little bit late on the fastball. Foul. 0-1. Okay, so you stack Solier and Smolinski at 8 and 9 in the lineup. I would assume that these guys will be climbing. They were here early. They've hit the ball hard in some of the batting practices that we've watched so far. Smolinski, very similar, but he's done it in the course of 1 year, as Solier had a, not lackluster freshman year, but he just didn't get to play much.
Yeah.
And then Smolinski, coming into this season, his sophomore year at Kansas State, he was not playing, and then in late March gets to play for 3 consecutive games in a weekend series against SIUE Edwardsville. And Smolinski goes 9 for 9. Yes, had 10 at-bats, walked once, went 9 for 9 in the batter's box, became an everyday player, and after just hitting 4 hits in 2025, 2026, I mean, unbelievable. That weekend also had 4 doubles, 3 home runs involved, 9 RBIs. How about averaging a run batted in per plate appearance? And this one's a jam shot towards center field. Beverly on his horse backs up and makes the catch for the second out.
I mean, Smolinski, he's known as a guy who's just going to get down and work as hard as he can. I've seen the last couple of days over here at White House Field as the team is warming up and practicing throughout the days. He's been talking to almost every single player, especially those infielders, trying to pick their brains, just learn as much as he can from these new guys that he's meeting for the first time. And, it's just good to see how much he's trying to take from these other Division I guys that are at the top of their game. And that's only going to help your game when you return to the collegiate level in a couple of months.
Here's Garrity, a returner for the Mariners. As of right now, from what I've seen in the dugout, it looks like there's just 2 returners from last summer that are here right now. Expecting more. There's rumors of more. We can't get you any guarantees just yet. But Ryan Garrity came towards the conclusion of summer of 2025, was a part of the Mariners playoff run. The throw over to first. That was a tight play, but Smolinski, the head-first dive in the scrimmage in athletic play, gets back in time. And Garrity was a guy who came for the postseason and simply delivered. Whether it was his defense, he was asked to play every single position, his base running, he's a speed threat, and then had a really solid year once again at Northeastern.
They're really treating Solier like a running threat over there at first base, as he is. He had 28 stolen bases last year at Boston College. Interested to see how much the Mariners go to the run game this season, trying to get as many runners in scoring position.
First pitch to Garrity, called a strike on the outer edge. I mean, Y-D. Now, 3 pitchers, there'll probably be a new pitcher for each team each inning, but all of these guys are in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Garrity this season, .326 for average, 5 long balls, 37 runs batted in. Also snagged 20 bases, walked 51 times, and OPS at .948. So for a smaller guy that prides himself and has the data of proven ability to get on base, he's also hitting for power now. Pitches low, Solier goes, throw to second, nowhere near the bag. And Julio Solier steals second, and the Mariners threatening for the first run of the ball game.
And you got the feeling he was going to run at some point. Everyone knew that he was a steal threat, and finally takes off in a runner in scoring position for the first time for the Mariners. And this is obviously a big situation. I think a lot of the times you be a good hitter, you can work long counts. What do you do with runners in scoring position? How do you take advantage of a scoring opportunity and a big chance here, although it's a scrimmage, to get that confidence up for Garrity?
Garrity waits. Stays away from a borderline fastball at the knees, and a good take. But we mentioned when Solier and Smolinski hit back-to-back, and now especially with Garrity, I think these guys, because of their ability to put bat on ball, not strike out, get on base, and then the base running, they're probably going to feed higher in the lineup as this summer progresses. Garrity takes a walk, and the Mariners have first and second for the top of the order coming up in Colin Larson.
Yeah, and you want to build a continuity throughout the lineup as well. You want to know who does what well. And obviously, Colin Larson now with runners on first and second. You'd like your leadoff hitter to have the ability to put the ball in play and make the defense get to work. But pressure on Y-D as much as you can, and that's going to be a theme that I'm sure everyone's going to try to preach throughout the summer.
2 on with 2 out for Colin Larson, the right fielder. Check on Solier at second. Larson, another Boston College guy from East Hampton, Mass. That's about 3 hours away from Harwich, but at around 2 just to get on the Cape. So these Boston College guys, a chance to help each other out. Solier in scoring position at second base. Larson, the right-handed hitter. Solier dancing over there. First pitch. Ground ball up the middle, gloved by the pitcher, the underhand pitch. And that's the end of the third inning. A nice play on the rubber, and the Mariners strand 2. No score. We head to the fourth on Cape League TV. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Red Sox. No score between the Mariners and the Sox. It's the top of the 4th. Alongside Milo Hoffman, I'm Luke Brenneman. Thrilled to bring you Mariner baseball all summer. And for the second time this afternoon, the third baseman Brody Johnson digs in. The hits are picking up. First 2 frames, we did not see a base hit. Couple hit batsmen, but they don't even get on base because in the scrimmage they're looking to hit, which I respect. And the first pitch, a high fastball to Johnston. So it'll be Johnston, Cerna, and Gooden, the 3 due up for the Red Sox.
There's been 3 hit by pitches so far in the early going.
Here's the 1-0. Johnson takes a fastball center cut. That evens the count. All right, Milo, we head to Y-D on Saturday afternoon, opening day. I'm thrilled because it's opening day, but there's a little bit of revenge involved. I think a lot of people have to remember, yes, there's returners, but there are completely new rosters. Mm-hmm. However, the Red Sox knocked out the Mariners to end the summer of 2025 in Game 3. That's the series finale of the East Division Championship Series. And now you kick off the season, but also the manager matchup. Scott Pickler, the first Cape League manager to ever surpass 600 wins. And then Steve Englert for the Mariners. He's been here for 28 seasons. So no wonder these two choose each other to scrimmage against. Just kind of the mutual respect of the veteranship in Cape Cod and the manager position. But kind of a rivalry, neighboring towns.
Exactly. And, the Mariners trying to get back to championship status. Won 2 years ago.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Johnston goes down. That looked to be a breaking ball at the letters. And quickly 1 down to start the 4th inning.
And it's good to see the Mariner pitcher starting to rack up strikeouts as well. But we were talking about the grand scheme of things. You got the Y-D Mariner rivalry. I think the longest drive here on the Cape, what is it, about an hour from Orleans to Wareham? That's about as
probably
far as
a little
they
bit
go.
more.
Probably, okay, yeah. You factor in some traffic,
right.
I think, throughout the Cape. Which, by the way, can get pretty crazy.
Cerna laces one into right center field, a base hit. Larson comes over to cut it off. And Cerna, his first knock of the scrimmage. Left-handed hitter wasted no time. First pitch, just laid into it. And here we go, 1 on, 1 out for Tommy Gooden. Back to what you were saying about the rivalry?
Yeah, I mean, just, there's teams there's only 10 teams in the league. And so everyone plays each other throughout and multiple times. So although these players don't know each other right now, they're going to start to see familiar faces throughout the summer. And, of course, Y-D and Harwich, they played each other last year in the playoff series. Maybe some of these guys don't remember that, but throughout the season they're going to build that rivalry back up again, and it'll be full force come the end of the year and hopefully playoffs.
Cerner advances to second on the wild pitch. So now a guy in scoring position for the Red Sox. They've had this now 3 times as we're in the top of the 4th with 1 out and a runner at second, but nobody really been able to convert. And it's time for Tommy Gooden. First baseman, he gets an opportunity. Gooden out of Vanderbilt, California native. Here comes the 1-0. Taken down the middle, evens the count. Vanderbilt had a lackluster year this year for the sake of their program. 33-25, a sub-500 record in the Southeastern Conference at 14-16. They beat Kentucky in the SEC tournament, then lost to Florida. No NCAA tournament bid. The 1-1 cracked out to left field. Bussey ranges back, camps underneath, and makes the grab for out number 2.
And you're used to seeing Vanderbilt as a team that's, going to pump out so many MLB prospects and really make a deep run into tournament play and into Omaha, but that's just not the case this season. For such a blue blood of the baseball world, it's kind of odd to see Vanderbilt not play up to standards this past
especially
season.
in these big tournaments. I mean, that's like Kentucky missing the basketball tournament.
Exactly. It's the same thing. How about Syracuse missing the basketball tournament?
Oh, well, that's just the standard now.
Yeah.
Wesley Alig. First pitch swinging, fly ball, dead center field. Kirikoff comes in, camps underneath, and the Mariners avoid a 1-out runner in scoring position jam, and the count stays tied at 0-0. We head to the home half of the 4th on Cape League TV. We're back here at White House Field, the home of the Mariners. It's a preseason scrimmage between Y-D and Harwich. Alongside Milo Hoffman, I'm Luke Brenneman. We'll be your Mariner broadcasters the entirety of this summer. No score in the scrimmage. Bottom of the fourth. Harwich has Peltier, Bussey, and Kirikov up. But you never really know who's randomly just going to pop out for one at bat, and we'll try and keep you covered, as you can see on your screen. No numbers, so we're still battling a lot, but we'll be dialed in come Saturday when the official rosters are released.
Luke, if I close my eyes, is there a chance that you'll be out there and right?
I mean, they might need me. I can throw a fastball, maybe 45, 50 miles an hour.
Nice.
It's kind of like one of those.
Like an ephus?
It's an ephus, but it's parlayed with a little bit of confusion. I mean, you don't really know where it's going to go if the pitcher doesn't know where it's going to go. So
right.
Might get taken deep, might ground into a few double plays. Back-to-back fastballs outside the zone to Peltier, and he gets ahead 2-0. Opening day, it's going to be fun to see who the starting lineup is, also the starting pitcher, because it's so early in the summer where, the Cape League coaches and managers, they scout guys that they want to bring in, but it's kind of like if a talented cat wants to come to Harwich, he's going to be able to if his college coach gives, say, Steve Englert the green light. And you got to pitch your best arm opening day. You want to kick things off 1-0. The Mariners started the season hardly losing a game in their first 2 weeks last summer, and that was just inspiring because you got out ahead of everybody else. You had the time to maybe try some developmental things, and there's always losing streaks that are going to come with a Cape League summer, 40-plus games. But the Mariners stayed the course. They finished 21-16, second in the East Division behind Orleans, then knocked out Brewster in the opening round of the playoffs, and eventually fell to the guys on your screen, Y-D. 3-1, a healthy hack from Peltier. He can't catch up to 97 at his neck, and the count goes full.
I'll tell you, if these hitters were expecting to sort of ease into the velo of the Cape League, that is not the case. I mean, you've already said it. There's been multiple pitches over 95 miles an hour. What you're saying about, throwing your best pitcher come opening day, there's a walk dealt out. It's going to change throughout the course of the summer as well. I remember last year in Alaska, we all thought we had the lineup on opening day. It was almost completely different in the playoffs.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
People are in and out. You get people that really get hot throughout the season. And so, you're going to keep an eye and follow along these players that maybe start out hot, go through different patches of the season, and hopefully by the end in the playoffs, Steve Englert and company are putting out their best product with a lineup that they fully trust.
Check on the runner at first. Safe. These Y-D arms have had some serious moves over there towards first base. I remember in the last inning, it was Solier almost got picked off.
Yeah.
Now Peltier dancing over there. First pitch, outside, ball one. So the Mariners will kick off their season with back-to-back road games. We'll start on Saturday at 4:30 in Yarmouth Dennis at Red Wilson Field, and then go all the way towards the border of Cape Cod. The Bourne Braves will host Harwich for a 6 o'clock contest at Doran Park. 1-0 misses up and in. Then Monday, off day.
Yes.
So you kind of play two games and relax. Monday's the home opener. Excuse me. I think so.
It's different for the first week. Monday, I think the Mariners are in action, and then Wednesday is off this next week.
So Monday is the big one.
Yes.
First game at White House Field. Check on the back pick. And Peltier's back in time, but you're already seeing that's Mateo Serna behind the plate. That's some chemistry with the first baseman Tommy Gooden. Those back pick plays, it's normally a single signal before the pitch that, hey, we're going to check on this guy if he takes more of a secondary lead.
You've already been here one summer. I know you just talked about some of the parks. You're the Mariner broadcaster. Obviously, White House Field is gorgeous. What were some of your other favorite ballparks?
Well, White House Field, it's number one.
Yes, of course.
Number one.
Yeah.
The home of the Mariners. But I love Veterans Field that's in Chatham. It's just so cozied up in the middle of the Chatham Square, which is just cool because Chatham is kind of the town that I feel like if you look up Cape Cod on Google, you're going to see the Chatham Bars Inn and kind of the coast of Chatham. So it's really charming because their games start the latest out of anyone. They're
Right.
7 o'clock, 7:30 first pitch. So you're fully under the lights
yeah.
come the final 4.5 innings of that one, and the sunsets are spectacular. From just a baseball field standpoint, I think Doran Park in Bourne really keeps it in good condition. It's a jam shot, right side of the infield. First baseman Gooden calls everybody out for the first out. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of good ones. And the nice part is, and this is full honesty, there are no bad ballparks.
Yeah. That's great. It's honestly, it's what you would expect for the Cape League. I mean, just a gorgeous area and all the fields. I'm excited to get out to each and every single one of them. I did hear a lot of good things about Veterans Field over in Chatham. Excited to just explore throughout.
Orleans has that center field fence that you'll get exposed to. It's like 445 feet.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a fun one where nobody will hit a home run over there.
Like a Kirchhoff manning out there in center field.
Yeah, a ton of ground to cover. Here's Kirchhoff now. Excuse me, this is Charlie Bussey. Takes a first pitch inside, ball 1. Bussey struck out his first time up. Peltier off a first, 1-on with 1 out, and he stays away on the fastball outside. 2 balls and no strikes to the Division II Player of the Year, soon to be Charlie Bussey out of Granville, South Carolina, 6'2", 200 pounds, going into his senior season. But he was redshirted, so still not draft eligible just yet. And he's coming out of the D2 ranks, so I think a summer on the Cape, maybe you hit the portal, and you really start talking a serious career in professional baseball for this guy. 3 balls and no strikes. Peltier still off of first base, 1 down, no score. Runner from first goes broken, bat look out, a squibber in the infield, bare hand from Johnston. And here's the throw to third, that goes away, and Peltier's going to score on a ball in the bullpen. There's no first base umpire. It looked like Bussey was called out at first base. That's a fantastic play on the bare hand from Brody Johnston. But nonetheless, the Mariners tack on the first run of the contest. Tommy Gooden tried to go first to third for a double play, and that'll be an E3 on the first baseman Gooden. Peltier scores, and the Mariners score the opening run of the scrimmage. 1-0, 2 outs in the 4th.
Yeah, it was a great play on the original try by the shortstop. And then the throwback from the first baseman, Goodman, just completely sailed over third base and Brody Johnson. So maybe, scrimmage day, you're trying to make the most of being out there. In the regular season, I think coaches around the league maybe tell you to eat that one and not try to force an out over at third.
Here's Kirchhoff, now 2 down, nobody out. Harwich up 1-0. First pitch up and in, ball 1. First pitch of this one was right around 2 o'clock, now approaching 3:10 here in Harwich. So flying by pretty quick, almost done with the 4th inning. 1-0, fouled straight back.
How about that bat shattering, though? I mean, that's got to be scary out there at shortstop. The bat fell in for a hit.
I think the bat went significantly further than the dribbler.
Yeah. It flew over the third baseman Johnston over there, and you got to keep your concentration. I mean, that's got to be scary.
1-1. Just inside. I love to see that. Kirchhoff bringing the juice in the scrimmage. Looked back at the home plate umpire, said, no, I got a good eye, shook his head, and he ended up getting the call. 2 balls and 1 strike in this right-on-right matchup. Y-D trying to get out of the bottom of the 4th. 2-1. Fouled away, evens the count. So the attendance here at White House Field, you got a lot of Yarmouth Dennis interns down the first base side. That's where the Y-D dugout is.
There's like 40 of them.
And then a couple just Harwich locals. Maybe some guys filtering in. I saw a couple dogs out and about. So no security here kicking people out. It's not that serious, but wasn't advertised. No snack shack open. The 2-2 sawed off into right field. That's a nice piece of hitting. Just dished it out there, and Kirchhoff earns himself a 2-out base hit.
Even though that was a little blooper over and right, the turn around first for Kirchhoff, I thought he was going to gun for second for a second. And
they're just going to call the inning there. So Kirchhoff with the 2-out hit, that's enough. And Y-D will come up to hit in the 5th. It'll be Milo back on the play-by-play, but the Mariners tack on the first run of the game. A squibbler, then an error, and a run from Peltier. Harwich leads 1-0. You're watching Cape League TV.
Back here at White House Field as we head to the fifth alongside Luke Brenneman. I'm Milo Hoffman. The Mariners have the lead 1-0 over the Y-D Red Sox via an error from the first baseman Tommy Goodman in the last inning. The last inning also ended short after Micah Kirchhoff singled to right, but because of pitch count and all those sorts of things in a scrimmage, they're going to cut the inning short. And so because of that, we go to the top of the fifth. Mariners trying to lock down on defense like they've done a nice job of so far in this scrimmage. And they'll deal to the Red Sox and Wesley Alleg, the second baseman who digs in the righty box. Pitch is swung on, hit high right side of the infield. First baseman Quentin Coates makes the play in shallow right. And that's the first out here in the top of the fifth. Like we said, tons of pitchers going to get action for both sides here in this scrimmage game ahead of opening day, which is coming up on Saturday against Y-D. Pitches upstairs, and the count's 1-0 on Billings, the center fielder. Infield played straight up. Pitch is inside at 90 miles an hour. And the count's 2-0.
This is the left-hander Chet Lax. He's coming off a season at Wright State and has now since transferred over the summer to NC State.
A ripper foul down the left field line. I mean, you go from Wright State to NC State. He pitched to a 4.23 ERA this past season, made 13 starts in nearly 80 innings. The long ball was a struggle for him. He gave up 11 homers, but just 20 walks. So someone who could control well. A beautiful changeup there. And the count's 2-2 at 78 miles an hour. Just pulled the string.
Oh, that was disgusting.
A southpaw changeup against a righty batter can just be pure filth. And Billings felt it there. He swings and hits a liner to left center field. That is a diving play by Bussey. And he made the catch. Oh, what a highlight reel play from Bussey over and left. And that's the second out here in the top of the fifth. A beautiful diving play. The defense has been on display for the Mariners here in this scrimmage game against Y-D.
That was all-out effort in the scrimmage. I was really just tracking the left fielder and seeing kind of how far he was going to run because the ball looks pretty 50-50 and just tracking down that much area in left field and then putting your body on the line in the scrimmage. This Harwich defense, Milo, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but it's looking solid, and I guess you could say scrimmage won.
John Beverly, the center fielder, swings and misses. And the count is now 0-2. Up twice already so far today. Beverly was hit by a pitch in the first and singled in the third. Made it to second base in that third inning before he was stranded. 1-0 Mariners on top over the Red Sox. Another swing and a miss. And that's the second strike here on Billings.
I mean, you're seeing from Chet Lax right now a ton of swing and miss. Some of these breaking pitches, he completely fooled Beverly in the last at-bat, and now Manafly at the dish right now. That was disgusting.
Pitch is taken downstairs on Manafly, the shortstop. Grounded out to second base in the first and struck out in the third. Steps into the lefty box, a left-on-left matchup for the shortstop. He watches a pitch outside, and the count's full.
So when you get ahead of a guy and you're kind of making him look silly, the last thing you want to do as a pitcher, especially with nobody on, is pick around him. Yeah, you can do it with the 0-2 or you can do it with the 1-2, but you got to attack the zone so you don't put yourself in a payoff pitch.
Swung on, hit off the end of the bat down the left field line, and that'll make the grass over there in foul territory. So they'll do the payoff pitch once again. You're seeing a lot of pitchers up there and hitters for that part battling up there, and there's been a whole bunch of at-bats that have grown more than 7 pitches, 8 pitches up there. Right now, Manafly, the shortstop, is doing just that for Y-D. Here's the payoff delivery. Swinging a chopper right side of the infield. First baseman Coates backs up and fires to the covering pitcher. And that's the third out of the frame. And that'll do it in the top of the 5th. Defense, again, has been impressive for the Mariners in this scrimmage against the Red Sox. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 5th right here on Cape League TV. One nothing the score. Mariners over the Red Sox here in the scrimmage game ahead of Saturday's opening day, also between the M's and the Sox. Alongside Luke Brenneman, Milo Hoffman. We go to the home half of the 5th. Like I said, M's on top 1-0 via an error from Y-D in the 4th. So the Mariners trying to put together some offense once again. It'll be O'Leary, the third baseman, Coates, the first baseman, and Capisi in the lineup. That's 5, 6, and 7.
Something that we talked about going into this, Milo, just combined 4 hits right now from both teams. The run coming via an error. It's the impact of the wooden bats and the talent of the pitchers. But you can really tell the amount of broken bats, jam shots, just kind of squibblers down the line. Outside of Solier's rip to right center field, that was a true base hit on every level. These guys are just trying to get used to it, and also kind of the speed of swinging. I know that these wooden bats, there's the ability to make them have the same weight as your typical aluminum bat that you use at school. However, it's different. You're kind of using the sticky stuff, the pine tar, whatever you may use on the grip. It's just different.
Well, metal bats tend to be much lighter overall, too, obviously, like you said, than wooden bats. And so these players, though, have experience with wooden bats. A lot of the times in Little League, you'll play with a wooden bat and a metal bat. You'll see the guys with their backpack with the bat sticking up in the bat. You have a wooden bat, you have a metal bat. 1-1 pitch is a called strike at the knees against O'Leary.
But for a lot of these guys, they're coming in from the NCAA tournament or a conference tournament, and you're dialed in on producing for your school at that point. So you're not really like, I'm going to take half my reps with the wooden bat to get ready for the Cape League. No. This is the first go-around.
Swings and tips it at the plate, so O'Leary just stays alive. Count remains at 1-2 against the third baseman. He flew out to center back in the second. Digs back in with the Mariner blue uniform, the blue top and blue pants. Bat rests along his left shoulder. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a lacer out to left field. Billings is there, though. Stops and he makes the grab at the chest. So that's a nice line drive hit, but right to the left fielder. You like to see the good contact, though, Luke. Kind of similar to that Solier hit. That's a real piece of contact right there that maybe will fall later on in the season.
The ability to hit the ball hard the other way is a good sign because you're catching it in the right spot. And those are the tools that Major League Baseball scouts want to see from these guys. Can you hit the ball to every part of the ballpark? Can you produce in 2 strike counts? And O'Leary right there, he fought off a 1-2. He gets a good piece of the next one. And it was just right place, right time for the left fielder Billings.
Here's the big Quentin Coates. He swings. That's a broken bat. Little nubbler back to the pitcher. Fields and fires to first in time. Nice PFP from the Y-D pitcher on the hill, and that's the second out here in the bottom of the fifth.
You see the way that Coach just grinded that up the line, though?
Yeah.
That's the stuff where guys like us who are going to be a part of the team the entire summer, it's a big deal because it gives you an idea of who's here to dominate.
Yep.
Who's here to compete and play for the badge, play for the town of Harwich. And in a preseason scrimmage, a catcher who's coming off 28 bombs, and I mean, it doesn't matter right now.
No.
It truly doesn't. He's grinding a broken bat. I mean, that was as good of a swinging bunt as you probably could have done. And he's a big guy. He mans the first base bag defensively. He's probably not going to beat that out, but it's the effort that he shows his teammates, like, I'm here for you guys too, not just myself.
Yeah, Coach 6'3", 225 pounds. Now the hitter's Colin Capisi, the catcher. He's also a big guy that stands in the righty box, 6 foot 200 pounds. Hit 305 this past season with Creighton, 3 homers and 47 RBIs. With the beige bat in the righty box. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Counts 1-2. Coates can certainly hit the ball a whole lot farther than he did just there, and I'm excited to see him get going throughout the regular season. He has some real power that should be on display. Like you said, the home run total was astonishing over with Cincinnati. 1-2, a cut and a miss from Capisi, the backstop for the Mariners, and that'll do it in the bottom of the fifth. The M's go quietly on the offensive side, and we head to the sixth here at White House Field. You're listening to Cape League TV. We'll be right back. We're back here at White House Fields. Scrimmage between the Mariners and the Y-D Red Sox. You can catch this game from anywhere. As you can see, out on the cherry picker over in left. You can watch it from as many different angles as you want. You love to see that, Luke.
You think
right?
he's bargaining over there with those guys? Like, hey,
Maybe,
$5 and it's your turn to go up. Because in the commercial, he was all the way up.
And now he's coming
20
down.
feet above the fence.
Right. Maybe, he's talking to them. Maybe he's trying to set, like, a standard for the regular season.
I know White House Field is historic,
Yeah.
but if someone were to go up there for the course of a game and put, like, a hit it here sign.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And a Mariner were to hit a home run off of it,
Yeah.
I think the field should be renamed after that.
Oh, completely. And I think it should be like free something for everyone that's in attendance too.
Yeah, so we get some benefit just
Right.
for witnessing.
Right. Unbelievable. A gorgeous day. So obviously you're going to try and watch it from anywhere. And actually, there's no like real outfield seats here at White House Field. You can go back there and watch from almost field level. But he got up there. That's like home run territory out in left
That's got to
center.
be a good view too.
Yeah.
We might have to just go full wireless and get our broadcast equipment up there and do a what do they call it? A cherry picker live stream.
I mean, why not? They do that. I know they do that for the Phillies.
Yeah, I've
in
seen
the majors.
that.
They do a broadcast out in center. Pitch is swung on, a one-hopper through the hole into left field, a base hit for the Red Sox. That's Jake Saunders, the right fielder. So one pitch and a hit for the visitors here against Ben Alexson, the new pitcher on the hill for Harwich from Fairfield. 15 starts last season, a 2.47 ERA, 63 strikeouts, under 30 walks. He was the MAC Pitcher of the Year in 2026. Actually pitched a complete game against Ners this season as well, so someone that's looking to gulp up some innings here with the Mariners. Pitch is high and tight, and the count's 1-0 on Brody Johnston, the third baseman. Stands first base side of the rubber did Alexson, someone who's pitched now in his junior season at Fairfield. Swing and a miss at the dish from Johnston, and the count's 1-1. Made 15 appearances his freshman season, 16 starts in his sophomore season, 15 starts in his junior year, but the numbers have just been improving every single year. That ERA on a downward slope, which is exactly what you want to see from a pitcher. Pitch is a breaking ball, cold to strike on the outside corner.
That's a beauty.
Counts 1-2.
Talk about tunneling pitches sometimes.
Yeah.
So the first strike of the at-bat was right at the knees with a fastball, but it was inside on that corner. And then you throw the breaking pitch that starts at the same spot, but it just fades its way towards the low and away corner.
Breaking ball outside, check swing. He did not go as the umpire gestures towards a coach over there at first base.
Well, Quentin Coates did what we were talking about. The first baseman said ring him up.
Exactly. Going to try to convince the umpire. I'd be surprised if the umpire were to ring anyone up on a half-and-half check swing here in a scrimmage game, but you never know. Maybe the umpire is feeling some type of way. That one scoots Johnston out of the way, an inside breaking ball. 77 miles an hour from Alexson on the hill.
You can tell with some of these guys throughout the summer that are low velo is they sometimes kind of have to pick around because with this caliber of hitters, if you leave, a sub-80 off-speed pitch in the heart of the plate, it's going to get clobbered with the talent of a lot of these guys. But in a scrimmage like this, Alexson coming out of Fairfield, you talked about it, the accolade of the MAAC Pitcher of the Year. It's time to compete.
Yeah.
You want to go after hitters? Sure, it's never easy to give up a scorcher of a base hit through the hole for the first pitch of the first guy you see. That's Souders off of first base. But now in a 2-2 count, we'll see what he goes to.
Brody Johnston looks at a pitch inside, and that's ball 4 to the infielder from Vanderbilt. So he disposes his bat and walks on over to first base. So now the Y-D Red Sox have first and second occupied in the top of the 6th, trying to fight their way back into this one, scrimmage between the Mariners and the Sox before Saturday's opening day between these two teams once again over at Red Wilson Field.
Something to keep note of throughout the summer, and we want Mariner fans and all Cape League viewers to realize is, yes, it's summer baseball, and right now it's just roll out the balls and bats and let's go play. If it's the 4th strike, maybe he gets a 5th, just trying to develop.
Teo Cerna shows bunt. Fake throw to second. Now fire to third over the head of the third baseman O'Leary. So the runner's going to come home to score. That's Sounders. And Johnston skirts on up to third base. So an error on the catcher, Capisi. And we're all knotted up here in the 6th. It's 1-1 Mariners and Sox.
So that was a really tough play because for the Harwich catcher, you're looking at a throw to third where Sean O'Leary is nowhere near the third base bag. I don't think either runner necessarily signaled to the other that it was going to be a double steal, so they both kind of froze. You had him dead to rights, but O'Leary came in. I think he was protecting a bunt there, Milo.
Yeah. He was definitely in, playing for the bunt. Now all the infield's in, and the pitch is outside to Cerna. So first time we've seen the infield in for the Mariners here in this scrimmage game. Runner on third with less than 2 outs. Nobody out, as a matter of fact, here in the 6th. 1-1 the score. It's been a pitcher's duel. Offering is fouled right back over our heads. Skipped on past the fence right in front of us, and Luke is still ducking to my right.
Oh, my gosh, that just scared the daylights out of me. Oh, my gosh, Milo.
Did you have any close calls last summer?
I don't
I know there's a screen in front of us.
No, that was the closest.
Wow.
I mean, I'm sure it's hit the net, but
Yeah.
I've been conscious enough to realize there's a net in front of me. That
Right.
time I fully thought the ball was coming through the open window.
get used to the read off the bat. Swing and a miss on a changeup outside. Beautiful pitch from Alexson. Yeah, that was pretty close. It kind of just kept flying.
Did that go over?
Over.
Okay,
and if
I
you want to
closed
get
my
the ball,
eyes.
you could probably run it out down these stairs and get it to get on the board early in the season. That'd be quite the start. Infield still in for the Mariners. Runner on third. It's Brody Johnston, the third baseman. Enters Mateo Cerna. Crouches. Here's the pitch. That skips in the dirt. Johnston bolts for home, and there's no throw. So the Y-D Red Sox have a 2-1 lead off of some sloppy play from the Mariners here in the top of the sixth. A throw over the head of the third baseman O'Leary. Now a skipper that went about 56 feet into the dirt, and no chance for Capisi to block that one.
Yeah, that was a tough play all the way around, and just like that, Y-D takes a 2-1 lead, and there's still nobody out. It's just kind of hard to gauge the scoreboard in a game like this because it feels like everything has been sloppy when it comes to a run crossing the plate for either team. And then now, how deep will Y-D go this inning? Will their whole lineup hit around if they continue to get on?
Busty's there, and he makes the catch in foul territory. So that's the first out here in the top of the sixth. And, it's a scrimmage, so everyone's getting used to, a 56-footer blocking that pitch in with a runner on third and trying to prevent the run from scoring. And, you're getting back into the groove of things, although, of course, a lot of these players just fresh off of their seasons playing in tournament play. Now the hitter's Tommy Gooden, and the infield shifts to the pull side for the lefty. Pitch is ripped on the ground. Diving stop by Coates. Gets up, shovels to the pitcher Alexson. And that's a nifty play from Coates to end the inning in the top of the sixth.
That was marvelous. Quentin Coates, the hustle on full display, laying out, getting the practice jersey dirty.
Oh, yeah.
On the opening scrimmage. That's how you end an inning right there. We'll see if the Mariners can get those 2 runs back.
You got to love it. Y-D Red Sox on top 2-1 now over the Mariners. We'll be right back on Cape League TV. It's a gorgeous day for baseball, and it's scrimmage time between the Mariners and the Y-D Red Sox. We go to the bottom of the sixth. Now Y-D on top. 2-1 over the Mariners with Luke Brenneman on Milo Hoffman. And we keep chugging through the order. Everyone getting their preseason at-bats in, pitchers in and out. A lot of guys, it's, one guy comes in, the bullpen instantly gets going. It's a train line of pitchers that are getting action here in this first scrimmage game.
I'm interested, Milo, to see if the Mariners went to Goodman to kick things off, the right-hander out of South Carolina who's now in the transfer portal. Do you think that means he would turn around and start on opening day Saturday, or are they waiting for somebody else to get in, maybe saving a couple arms? Because starters on the Cape, they're not going to go your typical 6-7 innings if they even have their best stuff. but they still go the longest out of anyone else coming from the bullpen. You expect to get 3, 4, 5 on a good day out of your starter.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think that if he's starting in the scrimmage game, that maybe says something. Solier gets plunked. That's the 4th hit by pitch of this scrimmage, but he's going to stay in, it looks like, as he walks off that hit by pitch that just hit his left shoulder. Julio Solier is a big, big guy. Big shortstop, 6 foot, 187. And, you know, even if it plunks you on the left tricep, who knows if he even feels that when he digs back in. Pitch is turned on into center field, but playable for Beverly. He dives and he makes the grab. That one just kept on traveling to the glove side of Beverly, and he makes the snag. It looked like it'd stay up easily, but instead he was forced to the grass, and that's a put out here to begin the bottom of the 6th.
Another marvelous defensive play in this one. These guys are laying out. They're putting their bodies on the line, Milo, and it's been an impressive defensive effort. When I took a look at that Solier swing, he put everything into that. I mean, it was a pitch that he thought was center cut, could take a healthy rip at. Just got it a little bit in on the hands. But Beverly, the ability to track that ball down, battle with the sun now in dead center field, and then lay out on the run away from the glove side as well. We have a battle going on today of 2 center fielders that have a ton of speed and defensive talent.
Here's Ty Smolinski, the hitter. He chops one foul down the third base side. Smolinski from Gretna, Nebraska, played at Kansas State University. Played in the Tri-State Appalachian League during last summer. He had 258 with 4 homers and 20 RBIs. Here's the pitch. Downstairs, it skips away from the catcher. Sun starting to shine here at White House Field. It's a cloudy day, but it is sunny. Wind picking up in the outfield. Ernie Echeverria is the man at the dish. He swings and misses. A big hack from Echeverria. And he goes down. So it's the second out here in the bottom of the 6th. Mariners still trail 2-1 to the Y-D Red Sox. So back to the top of the lineup. Or Garrity, actually, the number 10 hitter for the Mariners in the lineup, steps up to the dish.
I mean, I'm trying to keep my scorebook right now, Milo, and I just can't do it.
Yeah,
it's like a puzzle.
Well. It's a tough puzzle to figure out, that's for sure. Pitch is a swing and a foul ball back. And the count's 0-1 on Garrity.
I think this may be Smolinski now. I mean, bear with us, Mariner fans. I'm telling you, I'm promising that we.
So there
was
a
these
number
guys
10
prepped,
hitter,
right? And I think they may have just put in Echeverria and then now gone back to the normal order because yes, that's Garrity on deck now. So now we have 11 hitters in the lineup
11, okay.
because nobody was pinch hit for.
Right,
and it was just skip a spot, keep the order consistent.
So Smolinski digs in. He waves his bat and rests it along his left shoulder. Swings and hits a line drive left field base hit for Smolinski. It's fielded by Billings and thrown back in, so a nice knock for the infielder of the Mariners. And there is a runner on first with 2 gone here in the bottom of the 6th.
So you're seeing a lot of guys that on the rare occurrence throughout this scrimmage who do get hits, they go the other way with it. And I think the consistency aspect of that shows that they might just be a little bit late. A lot of these guys pumping in some serious velocity. But that time, for a crafty hitter and knowing the ability and just prepping and knowing what Smolinski's about, that's just something that's a part of his game. He waits on an off-speed pitch that he could have been early on. It was only 86 miles an hour, and he just shoots it the other way.
That's a line drive to right, just foul. And the count's 0-1 on Garrity.
So if you saw that on your screen right there, Garrity is talking to the bench. He's motioning with his hands, and that's something that guys do at every level, but especially summer ball. There's not too many analytics. There's scouting liaisons for each team. There's TrackMan interns that do the numbers, but he's telling his bench which way each pitch is going to move.
Garrity, it's a line drive to left center field. That'll dunk in for a base hit. Smolinski around second. Ball goes all the way to the wall. He gets the wave, and the throw is cut off. It's an RBI double for Garrity, and we're tied up at 2 apiece here in the bottom of the 6th.
Garrity dancing out there. He's back, and he's here at the start of the summer this time around. That thing was shot out of a cannon into the gap, and Garrity gets things tied up. That is refreshing to see, Milo. I know it's just a scrimmage, but we haven't really seen an extra base hit bring in a run so far. And Smolinski, a 2-out dunk the other way. Garrity rips one into the gap. That's baseball right there, and that's the type of offense that Mariner fans are looking forward to. Ryan Garrity, he's showing up and showing out early on.
So back to the top of the lineup now, tied up at 2 apiece. It's Colin Larson. He swings. It's a line drive to right. Caught by the diving Alig at second. Oh, my goodness. Defense has been impressive here at White House Field. A full-on dive from Alig, and he made the play to retire the side. But not before the Mariners tied up via a Garrity RBI double into the left center field gap. We'll be right back. It's Cape League TV.
Back here on the Cape, preseason scrimmage, and the Mariners battle back in the home half of the 6th. An RBI double from the returner from last season, Ryan Garrity, ties us up at 2 apiece. Harwich sticks with the right-hander Ben Alexson on the mound. He came in last frame, didn't have too much help defensively. A wild pitch and then a couple of errors from the Mariners. Y-D scored 2 runs to get out ahead. But the Harwich offense fights back. And we've entered the final 3 frames. We don't know if these guys are going to play 7 innings. We don't know if they're going to play 15. But we're here right now and kind of getting things organized. Yeah. You know, we're not 6'4", 220, pumping it in there at 95. But we have a producer. We have camera operators. We have Wi-Fi. And all of those come with issues. Ooh. And look out. Alig may have just worn one off the helmet. Good sportsmanship. Alexson came in to kind of check on him. But that is a scary ball 1. The league so far today, 0 for 1, was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. So it'll be Alig, Billings, and Beverly, the 3 due up for the Red Sox. We've seen all kinds of defensive web gems throughout this one, and now the bats seem like they're kind of waking up right now. Pitch in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes.
But even after the bats woke up, Alig himself had himself a web gem.
I mean, that was unbelievable. It wasn't even a straight-up horizontal dive. Yeah. He was going backwards and sideways diagonal to steal an RBI hit from Larson. Fastball gets in on the hands there. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. I'm excited to see what this matchup, and especially the defensive side of it, is going to look like on opening day when both teams are really trying to win.
Yeah.
Because the offense we know can be slow to warm up out here on the Cape, but see if the managers get crafty, ask guys to bunt maybe a leadoff runner over. The check swing on the 2-1 caught a piece of the handle of Alig's bat. Now the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Alig's just trying to get out of this at-bat alive here. A couple high and tight pitches.
Alexson challenging Wesley Alig, second baseman out of Kennesaw State. 2-2. Outside in the dirt, and the count goes full. Alexson digs back in, first base side of the rubber, working from the stretch. The right-hander kicks, fires, payoff pitch, got him down the middle with the fastball, called strike 3.
That's paint right there. Bottom half of the zone at the knees, perfectly placed. And that's what you want to see from Alexson, a pinpoint pitch.
That's got to give him some confidence, Milo, because he was kind of all over the place in the 6th inning with his command, and to have just 90 on the radar gun compared to some of these guys where their fastballs come in north of 95 and completely fool a hitter. I mean, he buckled Alig where he was sitting on something off speed, and the first pitch to Luke Billings runs inside and hits him for ball 1. So the control, especially in these right-on-right matchups for Alexson, is giving him a little bit of trouble on the inner part of the plate.
Yeah.
He's working quick out there, top of the 7th. 2-2 game, nobody on, 1 out. 1-0. Ground ball, third base side, foul. Evens the count.
He's going to that off speed a lot. 79 miles an hour, that breaking ball, and it catches the hitters out in front, and right there, Billings just rolled over it. His knees almost buckled before the ball was halfway to the plate. And so you're going to get soft contact and results like that if you're Alexson, if you keep placing those breaking ball pitches in a good spot, fooling the hitters with the tunneling action.
Here's the 1-1 in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Be sure to keep up with all Mariner social media throughout the entirety of this summer. We have a fantastic panel of social media interns, a couple of photographers. There's so much more to these broadcasts and day-to-day media life than just the stream here on Cape League TV. We appreciate you tuning in. 2-1, fought off foul. And now 2-2 to the left fielder for Yarmouth Dennis. We added a third member of our team to the media group. Lily Reisenweber is our new sideline reporter. Did a pregame interview with left-handed pitcher and returner Adam Arthur before this scrimmage, so go check that out. We'll also have our pregame shows called Trident Talk on there every day. The 2-2, called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts on the backward K. The fastball from Alexson completely buckling the Red Sox here in the top of the 7th, 2 down.
Yeah, that's perfectly placed right there. I mean, you work off the breaking ball, and you go straight back to the fastball. Good tunneling action from Alexson.
Also, another element that I did not mention, Michael Laba is our beat writer. He is already off to a hot start. He'll have a game recap, or you could say a scrimmage recap, up after this one. First pitch strike to John Beverly. Beverly's been on base 2 out of 3 plate appearances so far. Was hit by a pitch in the first, then got an infield single in the third. Most recently, got a lot of wood on a line out to left field in the 5th inning. Here's the 0-1. Called strike 2. Seems like Alex in the last 2 batters or so has found something with the fastball. Quickly 0-2 to the Y-D center fielder.
Yeah, after a couple hit-by pitches and near hit-by pitches, he's really zoned in here on the strike zone.
2-strike pitch in the dirt. Just heard a little bit of that Boston accent coming from the Mariner dugout. That is Steve Englert down there. He said, "You're good, man. Go get him." That's kind of what him and the pitching coach for Harwich, Hunter Dilworth, really preaches, is go after hitters. Get ahead, stay ahead, and challenge them, because when you start giving up free passes and you run into a cleanup hitter, those are the guys that are going to do the damage. 1-2. Alexson doesn't get the call that time. Counts even at 2-2.
This cherry picker guy's really getting up there over left field. I mean, he is high.
My goodness.
That's like...
If you hit it there, you just own the whole Cape.
Yeah. I think you own more than the Cape. Like
2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. I mean, we might not even have to go to commercial because this guy is instant entertainment.
I mean, he just keeps on going.
He's going all the way up to the light.
He's going to the lights.
Well, lights out inning. 3 consecutive strikeouts for Alexson, and we head to the home half of the 7th, all tied up in a preseason scrimmage at 2-2. Entering the end of the preseason scrimmage between the two teams that lined up in the East Division Championship Series of the Cape Cod League playoffs last season. The Y-D Red Sox come into White House Field. They have 2 runs. The hosts, the Harwich Mariners, all knotted up at 2 apiece. It's the bottom of the 7th. This will be our final inning on Cape League TV. Just trying to get out the wrinkles, get Milo introduced to this steamy hot press box here at White House Field, and the social team has done a fantastic job all day. But, hey, we're up and running, and you can smell the new season. It's right around the corner, opening day at Red Wilson Field on Saturday afternoon. And 7 innings of no audio issues, getting to know these guys and seeing a lot of good baseball, Milo. This is just a taste of this summer.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what you can expect here, and you can expect that throughout the entirety of this season. Players returning. Obviously, not everyone's here yet. People still infiltrating to Cape Cod and getting situated themselves. So everyone getting their feet under them as the 2026 season is just about ready to begin in a couple of days.
First pitch. Peltier shows a bunt, pulls it away quickly. Call the ball 1-0. I think it'll be fun that these two teams decided to scrimmage each other. I know it's just adjacent towns here on the Cape, but you play each other 2 days before opening day, you might learn some things.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen now in the bottom of the 7th, that's what? 14 half innings, so that's 14 combined pitchers from both of these teams. I guess you could knock it down to 13 considering Alexson went 2 innings on his own for Harwich, but that's it. This one's skied foul.
Yeah, and something about the Cape League is that, you know, different collegiate summer leagues do different things, but some of them do series throughout the summer and, like, play a team multiple times in a week.
Traditional
baseball. This team, this league obviously doesn't do that, so this is kind of abnormal before you get to the playoffs that you're playing a team multiple times in a span of a couple of days.
Count goes to 1-2 on the wave and a miss. It'll be fun. I mean, it's an exciting first week. The Mariners will play from Saturday up until Tuesday night before the first off day of the season on Wednesday. And a couple of road games. The first home opener is Monday night, so be sure to make it out to White House Field if you're on the Cape already. I mean, look at the stream right now. The weather, yes, it is that good. It's actually better. It's 75 degrees. It's approaching 80 as we get to the high this afternoon. Milo, you look a little bit sweaty, but
I'm sweaty. I'm very sweaty.
this is no Alaska. What was the weather like over there? The 1-2?
So Alaska was actually
Got him.
very nice. It was like 70s all summer and sunny. The thing about Alaska is that it stayed light out the whole time. So we would end the game starting at 6 p.m. to 9:30, and we would go back and we would have dinner, but it would feel like it's lunch because it's still fully light out at 11:30. So the light was 24/7 in Alaska. Obviously, in the winter, if you were to do a winter league in Alaska, which I'm sure does not exist, it would be dark the whole time. So the lights would be on at 2 p.m. So very different. But no, I'm like my favorite weather is like a 65. I don't know about you. I'm like a 65 degrees, a little breeze, like a sweater, not like scorching hot. Not that this is scorching hot.
No, it never is really going to get scorching hot. It's a little bit humid right now, but it does turn into just the perfect combination of climate. The wind is never bad. I will say you got to get ready because at different parts of the Cape, there's different weather.
Really?
As you get closer to the border,
Yeah.
as in the bridge and Bourne, it's going to be steamier, really muggy, kind of on the water over there.
Maybe we'll shorts to those games.
The bugs are bad at Wareham because you're really right off the water
Isn't
there.
Wareham not technically on the Cape?
It is not. It's across the bridge. Here's the 2-1. Larson, foul tip. Straight back. Counts at 2-2. And then Chatham.
Yeah.
You'll have games that are throughout the night. The weather is typically consistent there. And there are some stops here on the Cape where we don't have lights. Y-D Red Wilson Field. Brewster does not have lights, so we'll have more afternoon games. 2-2. Skips in the dirt about 3 feet in front of home plate. The count goes full to the right fielder, Larson. And there are fog delays specifically here at White House Field, where it is just too foggy because of the moisture in the air.
How many
you can't
fog
play.
delays did you have last season?
We didn't have legitimately any weather issues. There was one game on the entire Cape that got delayed and had to be played the next day. Of course, it was the Mariners who played in it right here at White House Field. But that is, like, historic out here.
Yeah.
There are some chances of rain over the weekend. Payoff pitch. Foul tip. Larson turning this into a long at-bat to kick off the Mariners' 7th in a 2-2 game. Larson battling right now. Does not have a hit so far today. 0 for 2. Here's another payoff pitch. Takes it in the dirt, ball 4. That's a heck of an at-bat right there from Colin Larson.
Yeah, and that's impressive stuff. Just seeing it full and seeing the ball well. That's something you can take out of these games. You want to be tracking the ball out of the hand and ahead of the regular season a couple of days away. If you're going in, if you have a good day in the scrimmage, I mean, that's only going to bring confidence, right? At the end of the day, sure, the stats don't, really matter. Everything is kind of being set in stone and everyone's getting ready. But if you have a good day today, like I guarantee you Ryan Garrity's happy he hit an RBI double.
Oh, absolutely. Something to build off of. And for the pitchers who've come in and delivered, thrown strikes, Charlie Bussey takes a fastball in. But it's also a breath of fresh air if you didn't have your best stuff. There's no recording of it. Sure, we're live right now, but this will not be posted. There's no scouts here. It's not going to be in the stat sheet as Bussey dribbles one up the middle. The force play at second and the turn. That is a 6-3 double play, all from Ty Manafly. And Y-D looks like they're going to stay on here. So now 2 down in the bottom of the 7th. That was a nice play from Manafly.
Yeah.
Knew exactly where the bag was, but also stayed focused on retrieving the bouncer up the middle. And it'll bring up Kirikov with 2 down and nobody on.
Kirikov has displayed his defense today. Also poked a single to right, an excellent piece of hitting, kind of a saw shot to right. Trying to end off his day in good form.
First pitch in the dirt, 1-0. All right, Milo, this will be the last time we're on the air until opening day. What did you see today that you're looking forward to the Mariners producing when the season comes around?
Well, I think that the most impressive thing has been the defense. The defense has been pretty stellar for the Mariners so far. Kirchhoff has been one of them out in center. He's made a couple really, really nice plays. Solier at shortstop has also been solid. Everyone around the infield has played their part as well. And I think, towards the end of the scrimmage, you could start to see the bats turn around. That's expected. You expect the bats to be the last thing to sort of turn around here at the start of a season. But I think the defense, if they can play, shutdown defense like this, the pitching, has held Y-D to just 2 runs. That's impressive stuff. And both of those runs also came off of, errors and sloppy play out there. So pitching has looked solid. I think the defense has been good too. It's all coming into form at the start. But those are just a couple of things that have stood out.
Kirchhoff takes a borderline slider. And you're right, Milo. There's just so much to come. Guys here who might go hitless in their first week could turn into the team MVP by the end of the summer. So 2-strike pitch, plunks Kirchhoff in the back. Man, he doesn't look very happy about that.
Yeah, not happy about that one, and that looks like it's going to be the end of the inning.
And as he wears that one, we're going to say so long. Just a little bit of a test broadcast in the preseason scrimmage. Got Milo on the mic as a Mariner for the first time this summer. Tune in. We'll be on the Mariner Radio Network Saturday afternoon at Y-D. First pitch is at 5:30. We'll have all the pregame show, Lily's pregame interview. We'll have you all dialed in on social media pregame around 4:30. 4 o'clock, and then obviously 9 innings of play-by-play baseball on the radio on the road. So for Milo Hoffman, myself, Luke Brenneman, we're pumped up to be the voices of the Mariners this summer. And a 2-2 scrimmage, we're going to call it here in the 8th inning. Thank you for tuning in, and we're ready for an exciting summer in Harwich.